Hi there and welcome back to the Gear4music Synth and Tech channel. My name is Rick and today I am joined by Alex from Novation. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to check out the brand new Launchkey. But before we do that, if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to like, and if you want to see more content like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe. Now, today we're checking out the brand new Launchkey, the new controller keyboard from Novation. However, it's not just a controller keyboard, is it?
That's right, yeah, it goes really far. You can control any DAW or software that you're working with. But there's also a bunch of new really cool creative features on there, like a new Arpeggiator, some chord maps, all that kind of stuff to help you compose as well. And
it's all just built into the actual Launchkey itself?
Yeah, it's all built in and just ready to go.
Amazing.
Yeah. And we've got loads of really nice software like bundled with it. So yeah, of course, a MIDI controller doesn't generate any sound, but we've bundled loads of software in there to create sounds with.
So, and then that will also obviously track into your DAW and you can have it there all kind of programmed into your DAW.
That's right, yeah. As soon as you connect it, you don't need to set anything up. It will automatically like work with like Logic, Ableton, Cubase, Pro Tools, whatever it is. You don't have to do any installation process. It's just plug in and play.
Ready to go. So this keyboard is perfect for live use and studio use and pretty much just everything you throw at it, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it could be like a centerpiece in a workstation at home, or you could have it out on the road playing live, like triggering the drums from the pads. And then the keys, the synths from the keys.
So you can control multiple instruments at a time with this as well.
Yeah, easily. You can switch between tracks as well. And if you've got like samples loaded up as well, that's really easy to trigger. Just...
So you were saying that all of the sounds that we're hearing today also come with the Launchkey, is that right?
That's right, yeah. So there's loads of plugins and software bundled with the Launchkey that make it like really easy to get going with, but also give you loads of great sounds to control with it. So we've partnered with like Gear4 with some really good Oberheim plugins and a really nice Access plugin as well. We've partnered with Clevger, who have really good like production tools like saturation, reverb, delay, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And of course you've got Ableton Live Light bundled with it. Yeah, so everything you need to get going. Oh, and there's also Melodics, which is a really good software for learning to play the keys.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to get a bit better at like sort of playing with two hands, that kind of thing, we've got you covered there. There's a bunch more we can look at.
Yeah.
That helps you get along with the keys as well.
Yeah, you were saying like even if you're not the best keyboard player, this does have kind of like sequences and chord progressions that you can actually trigger from the actual unit itself.
Yeah, it's got loads of stuff to help you get learning your way around the key. The keys. I mean, the most obvious of those is in this mode we can see the name of the chord that we're playing read out on the screen. Which is really, really handy if you want to get started sort of understanding what chords you're playing. It's also a screen on this one, which is really, really nice, huge improvement from the previous iteration of Launchkeys. So yeah, first of all, there's that, which is really, really handy. You've also got a scale mode where you can pick a root note, pick a scale. So in this case, we've got C# Lydian, and it'll actually read out the keys that are within that scale. And then there's different options as to how the scale mode works. So by default, it's just gonna snap every key that I play into that mode. So I can't play a wrong note. Or I could have it like filter the out of note scale. So it's not gonna trigger anything. And there's also a really nice easy scale mode where everything's on the white keys, so.
Really cool. Like, so it really does help you at no matter what kind of point of keyboard player you are, you can really kind of tailor it to your needs. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really good for just getting to learn your way around the keyboard for starters. Yeah, and there is that chord map stuff as well, which is really, really exciting.
And you can also put chords onto the pads as well.
Yeah, so if I hold down this pad and enter a chord, I'll do another one here. Those chords are now saved to the pads, which also is a really good opportunity to demonstrate the aftertouch on these pads. So listen here, if I apply a bit more pressure.
Oh, yeah.
So these are really nice velocity sensitive pads with aftertouch in there. So really, really good for that and also playing the drums on them as well.
Cool. So there's also a chord map on there. What does that do?
Right, so Chord Map's really exciting for composition tools and like helping you sort of develop an idea further.
Okay.
What Chord Map does is, it just gives us a map of different chords within the scale which we selected earlier. So we're still working in C sharp Lydian, and now we've got the 8 sort of root chords displayed on the pads. We're hearing these now through the orchestral tools, which is another sound plugin which is bundled with the Launchkey.
Cool.
That's just the basic like 8 chords that you would get within a C sharp Lydian scale. We can jazz those up a little bit more with, if I press the chord map button, the adventurousness. So we can set the adventurousness to like 3, and then we've got some different chords.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That's right. And then we can add an explore parameter to that as well, and explore further within those chords. So explore it up to 4. It's really good if you're writing a piece and you're really not sure, you want to put in like a substitution for a chord, it'll throw some ideas down at you. You can also expand the width of these chords as well. So we're on normal mode at the moment, but let's widen that out. So yeah, and we can also add a roll to that as well. So let's hear that.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty fun.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
So it lets you focus more on the creativity side of things rather than, music theory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to be a music genius to come up with like 4 really nice like inversions of a chord map within the C sharp Lydian scale. Like all of that stuff sounds kind of intimidating when you're getting started, but you don't need to know all of that to kind of find your way around, and hopefully you learn a little bit.
Yeah, it gives you the option to actually learn from it as well, not just bashing pads. You're actually getting the information from the chords that are being played.
Exactly. Yeah, it all comes up on the screen, and shows you what's going on. And there's also the modifiers as well. These function keys over here. So these effectively will just arpeggiate through the chords, so or arpeggiate down. The other will be like inversions of that chord, so.
Oh, wow.
The other's inversions down. And this one's like pinky hand kind of control. And this one's the same, but with like 2 fingers alternating, so.
Okay. That's incredible.
It's great, yeah. You start throwing all of that together and you can get some really interesting chord progressions, or just like jam along kind of, in a set key.
Yeah, cool. So you said that there's an arpeggiator mode on here, but it's like a next step up when it comes to arpeggiators, right?
Yeah, this is a huge step up from arpeggiators that we've done before. It's really, really fun to work with. So I'll change over sounds now. We're working with the Access plugin from Gear4, again, which is bundled free. Really interesting sounds we can get out of that. But let's go into the Arpeggiator and change the pads to display what's going on with it. And just running from the top, you've got your standard kind of everything that you would expect from Arpeggiator. So you hold the chord and it'll like run through it. But now you'll see we've got like 8 steps that appear, and we can take steps in and out. So it's like a little bit like a sequencer in that regard.
Yeah.
Across the bottom, we can add ties in. So change the gate length. Change the gate length here. And we can also add like an accent, which I don't know if that'll work on this particular because I haven't like modulated an accent, but let's hear it. And we can also add a ratchet as well. So this might make more sense with a really thin gate length as well. I mean, so you can really go a long way with like stepping out an arpeggiator on this. Of course, you can change the playback direction as well, and the octave, everything that you would sort of expect. But the real fun comes in if we add the mutate function into the mix as well.
Okay.
Mutate was something that we developed on the Mark IIIs that we've improved and brought forward into the Mark IVs. See what happens when I improve it, when I just increase the mutate amount, and I'll just have one note held. Right, starts to bring in like a harmonic interval if we go a bit further. go further. And then we go really far and we start getting some really jazzy chords. Notes. So mutate's just adding in another note, which starts off being like pretty straight intervals of like octaves and fifths, and as you go further down the mutate rabbit hole, then you start getting like weirder and weirder intervals.
It's just enabling more creativity, because realistically that might be not something that I would go with normally, but you know, utilizing this can give me completely new musical journeys that I can go on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the idea is you kind of tie this together with the chord map, with the scale modes, with those user chords as well, and yeah, you can kind of go really, really far with it and start generating some really interesting ideas out of it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great fun. I mean, yeah, with all of that, you could just, you could just have just an hour just fiddling around all that. It's, it's a lot of fun to be had.
So I can see there are lots of sliders and faders on here as well, and there's also a transport bus. I'm guessing you can control soft synths and also maybe DAW parameters as well?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's all set up. So as soon as you plug it in, the faders are mapped to your volumes, as you can see here. I'm just sort of demonstrating that on the screen. And the pots, well, they can control various aspects of the plugin, but also like your sort of mixer from up here as well, your send amounts. At the moment, I've got these routed to the reverb and the delay, which is bundled with it as well. So let's see if we can hear that. And we can add a bit of the delay that we've got on there as well. So. I've set that up to be quite a metallic reverb sound. That's not the default, but I think I maybe got a bit crazy when I was setting up.
Sounds really cool though. Yeah.
But yeah, so so we can have the pots controlling various aspects of the sends or the mixer. We can also have it controlling the plugin as well, which is really, really handy. So that's kind of straight away. The second you kind of plug it in, we've already got like intuitive control of the plugins that are that are bundled. So here we've got the Access plugin, and the pots are now controlling the cutoff. Resonance.
Very cool.
We've got a lot of delay and reverb going on there as well, but so that's pots. They can control the plugins that we're using. The faders are controlling the different channels. We can also select the channel that we're recording to really easily, or combinations of from these buttons across the bottom. And the track button is obviously really, really handy if we've got like loads of different tracks that we wanted to whiz through.
So it stops you reaching over the keyboard to actually use your computer's keyboard, which can be a real pain in the neck sometimes.
Yeah, so that's the big picture with this, with the DAW control, is that you kind of less and less, or if at all, have to use your mouse and keyboard. Mouse and keyboard you probably use to like get the plugins in, but once you've got a project set up, then you're pretty hands off, and it's all just around this. It starts to feel like an instrument. The transport control is also really, really helpful. If I go into the arrangement view, I believe it's called in Ableton, of the left to right, we can see we've added these, which are so helpful if you don't want to use a mouse and keyboard. I've changed the the encoder mode to now transport. So let's see what we can do with that. First off, we're moving the playhead position, right? So we can bank all the way through a project here. This one allows us to zoom in or out, horizontally or vertically. Which is, again, really helpful. And we can also set like a loop start point. If I zoom out, we can demonstrate that a little bit better. So we can set a loop start point, and you might guess what's coming next, loop end point as well. So we can set the loop length. And we can also hop between different markers that we want as well. We don't have any markers set up here, but just really, really easy to start bouncing around a project that you've set up, again, without your mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, so that makes it a lot easier as well, because I know, say for instance, if I'm not using my Magic Mouse or a trackpad on my Mac, it's a real pain not to be able to go left and right when it comes to, using a DAW. So this really gives you the option to do that if you don't have those accessibilities.
That's right, yeah.
Or say for instance, you're using Windows, you don't have that at all, do you? I don't.
No, exactly, yeah. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to to get around. We've also got like obviously the play, record, loop buttons on the device as well, and an undo, which is super handy because people make mistakes, as well as quantizer metronome controls. So yeah, it's kind of just straight out of the gate. You can actually start like developing tracks and not have to go back and focus on the mouse and keyboard and get lost in the screen as much.
Cool. So the new range of Launchkey come in all different shapes and sizes as well?
That's right, yeah, we've been working on the 49 key version here. There's also a 61 version, 37 keys, which is my favorite for the form factor, and 25 keys as well. And then there's 2 mini versions now. So you've got a 25 key mini version and a 37 key mini, which is totally new for us, and I'm really excited about that one. It's got touch strips for the pitch and mod wheel. It fits in a really good like form factor. It's super portable. Yeah, really low profile on it.
So really, it's just going to suit every case. So if you want to be, programming maybe on a plane or on a train or something, you can do that with the smaller ones. Or if you want to have your full, semi-stage piano, you can do that as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You get more keys and you get obviously like faders and stuff when we've got more space for it across the top panel. But yeah, there's something for everything there. Yeah.
So realistically, the Launchkey and all of its different iterations are perfect for any musician that's at any step of their, songwriting journey.
Yeah, you've got all your integrated control of the software that you're using, but you've also got loads of really good creative features, the Chord Map, the Arpeggiator, and it's really good for live or at home in the studio.
Amazing. So there you have it. There is the new range of Novation Launchkey. And thank you so much, Alex, for joining me through this journey between all of these different keyboards.
Thank you. Cheers. Yeah.
No, if you have liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you've got any questions or any comments, make sure you put them in the comments section below. As for me, my name is Rick. This is Alex. We'll see you next time.